A pleasure to meet all at last. Welcome back once again to HJN Season 5. So, what we have here is another material worth covering for HJN 2714. Yeah, I'm kind of getting steam locomotive vibes. If any of you guys happen to know what I'm talking about, good for you. Well, here's the thing. Metals is what I have up next. I've spoken of plastics rivaling metals. I've spoken of glass rivaling metals. But now that we're here to talk about metals in its entirety, let's just go ahead and do it. Metals is a modern day usage of today's technology. Moreover, it's a commonplace material, much like glass and plastics, and various other things as well. You can think about it, in this whole room, there's at least a few pieces of metal that I can at least put together. For instance, we could talk about the threads that keep this sofa together. Yeah. The threads, of course, that are basically the equivalent of screws, which is another thing I'll touch upon in a minute. Those are in fact made of iron, and they're used to create a nice tough surface in which that you can thread and de-thread over and over again without it breaking down by any means. Unless, of course, it were to rust up. In which modern metals are pretty tough to ever rust. And that's because of the unique treatments that they go through to create what is known as stainless steel. But we know that steel is not the only thing that is deemed as stainless or not so prone to corrosion, rust, lime, and other things as with other metalloids from the past. The thing is, metals were first made popular during the Industrial Revolution. By the end of the 1800s and well into the 1900s, it was a time in which that factories were booming so big they needed a lot more people to work. And it was also the beginning of a fresh new series of technologies, materials in which that were made possible because of such grand innovations in the Industrial Revolution itself. Alloys, as we know, have existed for hundreds, even thousands of years, being seen through many different technologies. If you're familiar with the Roman Empire, the Bronze Age, it was essentially a pioneer in which that led to the eventual discovery of iron ore and the production of iron itself. Iron ore, bronze ore, and various other ores, of course, are put together and put into a smelter or refinery chamber, a unit in which that allows for the metals to be collected from the ore itself and turned into the metals as we know of it. Bronze, iron, lead, tin, many other things out there. And while not every known element on the periodic table is metalloid related, there's still a good amount of different metals to work with. And I'm not just talking about the likes of iron, steel, etc. Steel, of course, is mainly based off of iron, but it is combined with various other materials, typically other elements from the periodic table. Tungsten, titanium, and various other things are also put together in order to create these tougher metals. And while such tough metals out there can even include the likes of dense materials such as osmium, it's a rare case in which that such tough metals are made utilizing osmium in the slightest. Be it that it is the most dense natural material on planet Earth, one would think, could osmium be used for our tanks, Fort Knox, Tennessee, or maybe anything else that really does require some advanced security? Well, here's the thing though. Steel has been such commonplace. It's been used in pipes, beams, girders, rooftop construction, the reinforcements of various structures, and various other things as well. But while I have talked a bit about other metalloids and even other materials used in the periodic table of elements, perhaps it could be about time that I could go into detail on the periodic table entirely. Not just talking about the likes of tungsten, cadmium, titanium, iron, bronze, etc., even though that's not so much of an element. The point is though, iron was basically a big usage. In its earlier years, it was not so great. But as of now, you can expect iron to be very strong. Much stronger than the likes of various other products. Other steels, other metals, and other things that have been known to exist. One thing is that you can't expect modern day metals to be bulletproof. Just think about it. The implementation of metals on armored vehicles, those bank cars, those tanks, those Jeeps, Humvees pretty much. The whole thing about it is that metals are everywhere. In usage on our vehicles, in usage on our technologies, including our own phones. I mean, think about it. There's even coltan in this phone. And that truly is a testimony to show you can have a lot of things put in such technologies. Not just the elements in the periodic table, but also some of the more modernized equivalents of said ores and things that were originally used to manufacture the metals in the first place, as well as other materials in which that I'll go into detail about later. And think about it. When I said that the threads were made of iron, this also goes to show that such little things like our nails, bolts, screws, hexes, as well as many of our own tools entirely. Hammers, screwdrivers, wrenches, pliers, etc. Metals have been used to enhance durability and are probably the best you can utilize in terms of durable technology. Modern day tools, modern day phones, modern day laptops, you can expect them to withstand a lot of punishment, even though not everything is seen as indestructible. But we are pretty much on the road to eventually discover what could be the possibility that somebody could not break something. Well, that has yet to be determined. But by all accounts, one could say that metals are going to be here to stay for a long time, considering how widely manufactured they've been made through smelting, through recycling, and various other properties that are meant to keep metal production alive for years to come. And moreover, how many things are made from metalloids? I mean, we're not just talking about our phones, cameras, cars, some parts of our houses, some parts of our equipment and tools, but many other things as well also utilize metal components. But while I have only scratched the surface, the rest of it is going to be a long, complicated story that I feel like will not be fit for an episode of HJN. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, follow me wherever you can find me, and stay on the Hollywood side for more content.